Hello, my name is Andrew Verdesca, and I'm here to talk to you today about my career in marketing, communications, and sales at one of the largest high-tech companies in the world, IBM, or International Business Machines. Now, before we begin, before I answer any of the questions, let me just define marketing, communications, and sales for you. When I say marketing, what I'm talking about is the subject of promoting a product or service, making people aware that you have a product or service to sell, generating interest with them to buy the product. That's really what marketing is all about, getting the word out there. Now, when it comes to communications, you're talking about choosing the right words that mean something to your audience in order for them to become aware of the product. So you might have a product or service that you want to announce or make people aware of, but you've got to use the right words to reach the right people with the right message. And what was my pathway to launch my career? Explain how you got where you are today. Well, a couple of things. I would say that the first thing is I was taught by my parents to think of education as a way to supplement or add to what comes naturally, to add to the skills that I felt I already had. So for me, when I was in high school, like many of you, I did a lot of activities in school, but where I really excelled was in the area of theater. I did a lot of musical theater. I play many instruments, I sing, I perform on stage, and so I did a lot of theater in high school. And a lot of those skills, getting on stage and speaking in front of an audience, performing in front of them, they came naturally to me. So when it came time to go to college after high school, I wanted to study something that could make use of those skills, that could supplement those skills in performing and getting on stage and not being afraid to talk in public and that sort of thing. And for me, marketing was the subject that came closest to theater in the business curriculum. And it's how I landed into the world of marketing. So I would advise many of you out there, especially if you're not sure what you want to study, I would suggest that you approach that subject by understanding what skills are you currently good at, what talents do you have, and then look at education like college on how to add to that. What kind of tools can you gain in college that you can apply to your own skills? In addition, one more thing I would highly recommend is taking an approach that can somehow combine college classroom education with on-the-job training and experience. Now, for me, I chose a college that was not 4 years like many colleges, but it was 5 years. That's because every 6 months in college, I would leave school to go work in a job that was related to what I was studying. And this is how I ended up arriving at IBM. What is the best career advice you've ever received? Well, when I look back at my career, there were many different people who advised me on many different subjects. One of them was basically the subject of always reinventing yourself throughout your career. There will be many jobs that you'll have throughout your career, but always stay fresh with the tools that are available. Continue to read, continue to learn, continue to make sure that you are working in an area that is popular, that is going to do well in the world. Another one that is very key to my career, has always been very key to my career, is something my father taught me when I was in high school. It's an old saying that says, "It is better to ask a dumb question than be responsible for a dumb mistake." Now, that may sound silly, but it's very true. What would you rather do? Would you rather make a dumb mistake and then have to suffer the consequences of that? Or would you rather ask a dumb question first before you proceed to execute something, and then not make that mistake. What do you enjoy most about your job? Well, for me, it's creativity. I love the idea in marketing and communications and sales of coming up with an idea that can make people aware of a new product or service and make them feel interested in that. Coming up with a new video or maybe a podcast or a whole campaign that starts with an advertisement either on TV or on the radio or in print or in social media like on Facebook. You might put a message out there, post a message to get people thinking about something. And before you know it, when they express interest and engage with you in social media, you can then respond to them and engage back. And how do you define success? I would define success by two things: by achieving your goals. So in every job, you have goals that you want to achieve. Well, in life, you have many goals that you want to achieve. When you're in high school, you want to graduate, you want to do well, you want to go on to a college or a trade school where you can apply some more tools and education to what your skills are. You want to grow with that. So I would define success by achieving those goals. I would also define success by enjoying your work. So here we are talking about careers. So often, so many people graduate high school, they might go to a college, and then they come out of college and they really don't know what they want to do. Or they might find themselves working in a job that is totally unrelated to what they studied in college. For me, it was just the opposite. When I graduated high school, I went to a college that, again, allowed me to go to school and work at the same time. In the area that I was interested in marketing in this case. By the time I graduated, not only did I have the schooling background, but I had about 2.5 years of work experience. So I was able to work at IBM with a lot of experience at that point. And so to me, the idea of achieving success is achieving your goals, gaining your education, your experience, but enjoying what you like to do. Now, I ended up spending 35 years with IBM, and I always tell people that's because I was enjoying what I was doing. I love the work. And it all goes back to supplementing what came naturally to me, the skills that I had back in high school, and adding education to that. I think if you can find a job for yourself in which you can really enjoy what you like doing, and when I say enjoy, I mean where you lose sight of the time, where you lose yourself because you're working so hard and enjoying it. Your work doesn't end at 5 p.m. It might be something you're thinking about even on the weekend because you enjoy that work. So I would define success that way.